we have some really great questions, so I'm going to start rattling them off. First one, I'm going to direct towards Madison. There is a question about privacy. So where are the documents located once they've been signed? Like, are they up in the cloud, and how do you access them?
Yes, so every document that's signed is stored within GetAccept. They can be accessed within the contract management tab, which I didn't go over, but it does exist. That's typically something that only administrators will have access to. So if you don't want the standard users to be able to view documents of the entire organization, you can make it so that only administrators can go in and pull and access all of the signed documents. And then at that point, you can choose to keep them stored in GetAccept, where they will be safe and private, or you can download them in bulk and upload them to Child Plus or whatever your internal database might be.
Great. Another question for Madison. This should be a quick one. How long can the videos be?
I've only seen video as long as 2 minutes, so I assume that it can go somewhere near 5 without a delay, but typically a 45-second video is enough time to get the point across. Some organizations, they will upload a video or link it from YouTube, and that's something you can do as well if you have that already pre-recorded. But yeah, I'd say 5 minutes max.
Great. And then question for probably Sharina and Veronica around the internal training that you had. Like Sharina said, she joined in the middle of the pandemic and didn't get a formal training with me when I was training the team. But there was an emphasis on how simple and easy it was to learn. Can you delve a little bit more in depth about kind of what that training looked like? Maybe both for Veronica and Sharina.
Absolutely. Veronica, do you want to speak from the trainer's perspective, and I'll speak from the training?
Yeah, well, it was easy in a way that I was able to share my screen like Madison did earlier, and just show her how to upload a document, how to save a template, how to send it, pretty much the same way that Madison was showing earlier. Of course, if there was any other more detail that she needed, I did refer her to Karina. But just the basic needs, I think it was simple to show to other people.
Absolutely. I definitely second that. And I also think that I can speak from a perspective of the way that GetAccept has the tabs arranged. In that signature, like if you're obtaining a signature or you're sending out for a signature, the tabs are arranged in a certain way that, at least for me, I was able to identify, maybe something that Veronica and I didn't go over because it just wasn't something that I needed to go over at that moment. But later down the line, there were like questions. Can I resend a document? Well, I can, but I can also send a reminder straight from the GetAccept, the back office area, I call it. And that reminder will then prompt the person to sign their document. You can set up reminders. There are things that I can answer the questions for fairly easily if Veronica and I hadn't gone over that part. And then Karina definitely spent 2 sessions with us, gave us, at least for me, and I know there was another department who wanted additional training. And once we met with Karina the first time, she let us kind of settle with what it was that she was training us. And then the next thing we go into a second training. We were able to get our questions answered, and Karina was very responsive. But I think it's extremely easy, user-friendly. Yeah, I don't know what we were doing before. That's all I can think of. How are we getting signatures before GetAccept? So easy.
Thank you, ladies. This is actually, I think, a really great question. You guys did highlight being able to send via text and being able to reach even some of your directors without having to drive to their homes to get signatures. How hard or easy was it to get your current customers onto eSignature? So how was the adoption that you felt for the families that you were working with?
Luckily, this pandemic has caused one of the silver lining that is it caused a shift in how we do things. So this pandemic has been great in giving us a little kick in the butt in terms of moving towards digitalizing our paperwork. And it also has made our clients a lot more resilient. And so when it comes to this type of situation, we've explained why we're moving to digital signatures. Everyone that we've spoken to understands the reasoning why, and we provide both videos and phone call support if families are in need of guidance around how to access the documents, how to sign the documents, or how to suggest to make changes into the documents. Those are all things that we've been able to work with our clients and in ways that we can support them around getting both to know GetAccept, get to be familiar with how it functions, and then be comfortable enough to sign a document.
I can also share that, in working with specifically our board, which I think, really isn't comfortable, the majority isn't comfortable with technology at this point, or they're getting more comfortable. Like I said, that's why I chose to use that example, because even on email, we struggle to get responses, and it was so easy because she was able to just turn it around within minutes. And so from the perspective of a person who signs a lot of documents on a text, what you'll get is you get a prompt, like you have a document to sign, you click on it, and then it gives it, it sends you a text message of a code. You put the code in, you review, you can just easily scroll, you review the document, and then when you're ready to sign, you sign it. And so it was easy enough for folks who really are not comfortable with technology to do without asking any questions. And so for me, I think that's pretty, that's pretty telling of how easy it really is to use. And I think the board also was really happy to see that they do send you this double authentication. So these two codes, because to them that meant like, okay, what we're doing is really secure. And so then they can trust, the process. And I think that's really important too, for both clients and parents, really.
I want to add too that, going to the area of getting families comfortable with getting to know and using GetAccept, as Madison shared earlier, she was able to add a video to her document. But what's great about GetAccept is that you can make videos for every document that you have. So we have some of our documentation in Spanish. And so we were able to make a video in Spanish, giving them an introduction to the document and how to work the process.
You can also store documents in different languages within the platform, and we can find an easy way to organize your folders so that you can access documents depending on the language preference. And something important to mention is if the recipient has their browser set to Spanish, for instance, it will automatically convert the buttons within the platform to their chosen browser language. So whatever that language is, we can accommodate them by creating documents in their language, and then the platform will convert to their browser setting. There are a couple things that I was going to address and show you the signature certificate. So after the document's been signed, a signature certificate is created, which you can see here has images of the signers and their signatures, a document fingerprint, document ID. There are locations, IP numbers, timestamps, everything within here that makes it globally legally binding. It's GDPR compliant as well. We were one of the first e-signature organizations to become a GDPR compliant. So you'll see this here. And then you'll also get the audit log, where you can see all of the different document activities, such as when something's been downloaded, signed, and if there was a comment, you'll see right here, the comment will be listed. So if any important information is in that chat box, it will be recorded in the audit log as well. And this is attached to every single signed document. And this is what ensures that it's legally binding. There was another question about the look of the document, the formatting. So I wanted to mention that the document format is completely customizable to whatever you need your documents to look like. Even if they're horizontal, we can accommodate that. And the platform itself is also customizable. So this background image here, the logo, the color of this writing, and this background color here can be changed. And that's something that we'll work with you on to customize.
Madison, I think there are a couple more rapid fire questions that I'm sure you can answer. One was, can you turn notifications off?
Oh, yes. So there are tons of notification settings. So if you only want a notification when a document is signed, you can only have that one on and turn all the others off. If you only want a notification if the comment is made, you can have that on or off. You can turn all notifications off and just choose to check into the platform to review activities if you don't want to get any email notifications. So yes, you can customize notification settings.
Yep. There was another one around who uploads the documents.
Documents are uploaded by the administrator of the platform alongside a GetAccept customer success representative. So someone like Karina will meet with you and you'll together upload your documents, set them up. And then from that point on, only that designated administrator can make changes to those master templates within the platform.
Yep. I'd also highlight if you have one-off documents, anyone can send those as well. So a lot of flexibility there. And then I think there were, if any, actually feel free to unmute. And if you have questions that any of these other questions have sparked, please feel free to put them in the chat or ask them here.
If anyone has any questions or if you'd like a custom demo for your organization, or if you have just would like any more information in general, feel free please to email me. Then at that point, we can also determine whether or not you'd be a good fit for the business plan or the enterprise plan. We charge per user. So at the business plan, it's $40 per user per month. With the enterprise plan, it's $60 per user per month. So we can discuss more of that in detail. If you'd like to email me, we'll set up a call.
Yeah, I'll also put our pricing page within the chat. So if you want to take a look yourself, feel free.
Madison, it's Christopher, and you referred to this briefly about the settings regarding language. Can you tell me how many different languages right now are supported in GetAccept?
Goodness, there's got to be over 12 different languages.
Wow.
Number. So in terms of the browser, like the buttons converting to the browser, that will convert any of the browser languages. And then the platform itself, if your organization were located in Mexico and you wanted your users to use the platform in Spanish, that's where we have a limited number of languages, somewhere around 12 or 15, but it will convert the language to whatever the browser language is. There's no limit on that option there.
Great, thank you.
It looks like
You're welcome.
the questions were about the text messages that people receive. So what Head Start is doing right now, because they do need English and Spanish, they just set it up in their settings in the sendings. So you would have the two English and Spanish versions set up manually in there, and that will apply to all future text messages. So whenever I receive an SMS, I'll see the English message on top and then Spanish message on the bottom. You can always change it as you go, but if they see the two options, it also works really well because they can see the translation at the bottom.
Perfect. Thank you, Ali. I really appreciate everyone hanging in all the way through this entire presentation. It looks like we've only lost 2 people since we started. So thank you so much for joining, as well as Vista Del Mar, Christopher, Karina. Thank you all for being a part of this. And yeah, I look forward to hopefully hearing from some of the organizations shortly, and happy holidays to everyone who joined.
And let me just add my thank you to the team from Vista Del Mar. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys being here today, and extend my thanks to Karina and to Madison. And finally, it's December, so I hope you all get some holiday break. I know it's well deserved. So best wishes to you all.
Have a great rest of your day and the rest of your week, everyone. Thanks for joining.